Hi, this is 9 back here once again, and now it is time for my 13th game of Jeopardy for the week. I have a broken win total $3,065,600. Wait, I was at $3,165,600. Right, yeah, I was at $3,165,600, so let's find out. Let's see what my first 6 categories in the Jeopardy round are.
This is Jeopardy! Where do we begin? Player 1. While pointing the Wii remote at the screen,
we have
press the A
6 categories of pets, spy basics, literature. I only have I's view with letter I, quotation marks. That means every quick response will begin with that letter. Back in the 1990s, and from screen to stage. Let's start with literature for 200.
In chapter 52 of this novel, a boisterous crowd is gathering for Fagin's execution. Okay, player 1. Use the Wii
What is
remote to
albatross?
press the corresponding direction. Select again.
Literature for $400.
19th century author, known for writing about a venerable mansion with 7 acutely peaked gables. Let's hear it, player 1.
Who is Nathaniel Hawthorne?
You're right. Player 1, back to you for our next selection.
Literature for $600.
People from the past appear to a brother and sister in Rewards and Fairies by this author of The Jungle Book.
Who is Rudyard Kipling?
Player 1. You are correct. Player 1, you pick again, please.
Literature for $800.
Modern novels with biblical titles include Jane Hamilton's The Book of Ruth and Toni Morrison's Song of Hymns.
Here right now. Who is Solomon? Song of Solomon.
Yes, player 1. Good for you.
And now,
You get to
let's
pick
finish
again,
up
player
category.
1.
Literature for $1,000.
Even Grendel would love Seamus Heaney's new translation of the Anglo-Saxon epic about this titled beast.
Who is Beowulf?
Player 1. Yes.
Well, to my next category,
We
I have
return to you.
$3,000. Let's do back in the 1990s for $200.
When the UK's 99-year lease on this crown colony ended, China retook control on July 1st, 1997. Let's hear it,
What is
player
Hong
1.
Kong?
Right. Please pick again, player 1.
Back in the 1990s for $400.
On August 10th, 1993, she was sworn in as the 107th Supreme Court Justice. Player 1.
With root beer in bag.
Choose again, player 1.
Back in the 1990s for 600.
Partying like it was February of 1999, Hugo Chavez became president of this country.
West Venezuela.
Yes, player 1. That's it. Player 1, back to you.
Back in the 1990s for $800.
On January 1st, 1993, 2 new European nations were formed from the split of this suddenly ex-country.
West Yugoslavia.
Okay, player 1.
That's it. Actually, it's Czechoslovakia. It's Czechoslovakia.
Good. You again, player 1.
Back in the 1990s for 1,000.
On October 26, 1994, a peace treaty was signed between Israel and this country led by King Hussein I.
1994. That's Jordan.
It's player 1. You got it.
Up to $6,000.
Player 1, back to you for our next selection.
Let's look for stage screen for 200.
X marks the spot where the musical, inspired by this Olivia Newton-John film about a roller disco, rolled onto Broadway. Player 1.
What is Greece? What is Greece? Right or wrong?
No.
What was I do?
Anyone else care to try to come up with a correct response?
No one.
Here's the correct response. Xanadu.
Yeah.
Player 1, pick again.
Stage screen for 400.
The musical Here Is Love was based on this 1947 film in which the real Kris Kringle is hired to work at Macy's.
What is Miracle on 34th Street?
Okay, player 1. Good. Choose again, player 1.
Stage screen for 600.
A handful of actors play more than 100 roles in The 39 Steps, based on this director's 1935 suspense classic.
39 steps. What was the year?
Yes, player 1.
Alfred Hitchcock. Who was Alfred Hitchcock?
Good.
For stage,
We return to you,
for
player
stage
1.
to screen, for screen to stage for 800.
Answer, the Daily Double. And you're in the lead now. Decide on your wager, player 1. All right, here's your clue.
Everything.
A Wonderful Life is a charming musical adaptation of this director's classic film, It's a Wonderful Life.
Who was Frank Capra?
Congratulations, you're still in first, player 1. Select again.
For screen to stage for
In the
1,000.
musical Legally Blonde, Blonde Ambition takes Elle Woods all the way to this university's law school.
What is Harvard?
Let's hear it, player 1. Right you are.
Up to $14,600.
Player 1, back to you.
That's my basic only advice for you. Let's see why I only advise for you for 200.
Heterohelix is the English variety of this climbing plant.
What is ivy?
Player 1. Right. Please pick again, player 1.
I only advise for you for 400.
Kelly?
In monozygotic, or this type of twin, the genetic makeup of each twin is exactly the same.
What is identical?
It's player 1. That is correct. Player 1, you pick again, please.
I advise for you for 600.
Roger that, Houston. The rocket engines have reached this point of firing to life.
What is ignition?
Okay, player 1.
advise you for 800.
It's a list of places to be visited on a journey.
Where's an itinerary?
Yes, player 1. Yes.
Okay.
You get to pick again, player 1.
I advise you for
The
1,000.
male of this wild goat of the Alps has backward curving horns that may be as long as it is tall. Let's hear it,
President
player
Evic.
1. Correct.
Now it was $17,600. Let's do buy basics for 200.
This colored part of the eye shares its name with a type of flower.
I believe that's the iris.
Yes, player 1.
Where's iris?
That's right. Way to go.
Yeah. Look at it. He
You
is
again,
there.
player 1.
Buy basics for
Pink,
400.
red, or purplish. A port wine stain is a large one of these, usually on the face or neck. Okay, player 1.
This got like a fourth line thing. Where's the birthmark?
That is correct.
Buy basics for 600.
Also called leukocytes, these blood cells defend the body against infection.
Well, white blood cell.
Player 1.
White cell. White blood cell.
Yeah. Player 1, back to you for our next selection.
Buy basics for 800.
The dura mater is the outermost protective layer that covers the spinal cord and this organ.
Buy the
Yes,
ring.
player 1. That's correct. You get to pick again, player 1.
Buy basics for 1,000.
Unfortunately, high cholesterol can lead to atherosclerosis, in which these blood vessels become clogged. Let's hear it, player
For
1.
red blood cell. Hospital. ATH. What are arteries?
Yep.
$20,600.
Left again.
Now, one category left. Pets for 200.
With more than 70 million living with American households, this is the most common house pet in the United States.
What are cats? Please.
Okay, player 1.
What is cat?
Yeah, that's right. Way to go.
Okay.
We return to you, player 1.
Pets for 400.
This type of parrot that bears the name of a South American river can get used to cooler temperatures. Let's hear it, player 1.
What is Amazon?
That is correct. Player 1, you pick again, please.
Pets for 600.
Often advertised in comic books, see these are actually brine shrimp in suspended animation.
What are monkeys?
Yes, player 1.
What are sea monkeys?
Yes. Please pick again, player 1.
Pets for 800.
William Howard Taft was the last pres to have one of these grazing at the White House. Her name was Pauline Wayne.
What is a cow?
Player 1. Good. And here's the $1,000 clue.
Pets?
One of the oldest domesticated dog breeds is the Saluki, the royal dog of this ancient people.
S-A-L-U-K-I. What is Egypt?
It's player 1.
What are the Egyptians?
Correct.
And the double Jeopardy, again, you're going to have
Double Jeopardy
$30,600.
will begin right after this. And we have 2 daily doubles awaiting you in these categories. Biology.
Biology.
Football.
Football.
India.
India.
Our founding fathers.
Our founding fathers.
Classic novel spoilers.
Classic novel
and
spoilers.
the meaning
And
of the prefix. Okay, let's get back into this. Player 2. You make the next selection.
No, we'll
We
spoil
continue.
it.
Which scientist creates monster that craves bride? Scientist makes and destroys bride. Scientist dies. Monster mourns.
What is Frankenstein?
Okay, player 1. Player 1.
That's no spoilers for $800. None of this other founding fathers in the meaning of prefixes in India football and biology. That are that's no spoilers for $800.
Raskolnikov murders an old woman. Raskolnikov confesses and is sentenced to 8 years in Siberia.
R-A-S-K-O-L. R-A-S. Crime and punishment. What's crime and punishment?
Let's hear it, player 1. That's correct.
Let's go with what is for
You again.
1200.
Constance marries paralyzed Sir Clifford, has an affair with the gamekeeper, gets pregnant, awaits divorce and new life. It's player 1.
I really thought it come back again. Shadowlace leather. What is a Shadowlace leather?
Yes. You get to pick again, player 1.
Lexmar's was for 1600.
Heathcliff is raised in the Earnshaw home. Falls for Kathy. Love thwarted. Both die. Player 1.
That was nice, right? Because the Heathcliff. Wuthering Heights. What is Wuthering Heights?
Yeah, good. Player 1.
Yeah.
Pick again.
Let's go with players for 2000.
Answer. The first of the daily double. You are in the lead right now. Please select. Okay, here is the clue. Itinerant workers George and Lenny dream of owning a ranch. Lenny accidentally kills a girl. George kills Lenny.
It's rock and roll, mice and men. George and Lenny. Mice and men. What is up, mice and men?
That puts you even further ahead.
Now 55,200.
Select again.
Now our founding fathers for 400.
Here's Kelly. She'll show you.
The southwest wall of the Thomas Jefferson Memorial displays an excerpt from this document, of which Jefferson was the primary author.
What is the Declaration of Independence?
Yes, player one. That's it. Player one. You pick again, please.
Our founding fathers for 800.
At age 15, he was a bell ringer at the Old North Church. 25 years later, he told the church sexton to light 2 lanterns.
What's Paul Revere?
Let's hear it, player one. You got it. Player one, back to you.
Our founding fathers for 1200.
He served jointly with William Hunter as Postmaster General of the Colonies from 1753 to 1761.
Who is Benjamin Franklin?
It's player one. Right. Choose again, player one.
Our founding fathers for 1600.
Answer. The second daily double. You are currently in the lead. You need to select your wager. Here is your daily double clue. On April 24th, 1778, this naval hero captured the Drake, the first British ship defeated in war by an American ship.
Here's John Paul Jones.
Congratulations, you're still in first, player one. We return to you, player one.
Our founding fathers for 2000.
Before he was on the $10 bill, this first Treasury Secretary was one of the 39 signers of the Constitution.
Who is Alexander Hamilton?
Okay, player one. Yes, sir.
Now we have $117,200.
Back to you for our next selection.
The meaning of the prefix for 400.
Hemi.
What is half?
Player one. Yes. Please pick again, player one.
Meaning of prefix for 800.
Die, as in dicephalus.
What is 2?
Yes, player one. You are correct.
Meaning of prefix
You again,
for 1200.
Contra. Let's hear it, player
Yeah.
one.
What is against? Which is this one, not sure. Contra. Against. Yeah. What is against? Hang on, okay. What is against?
Right.
Meaning of
Choose again,
prefix
player
for
one.
1600.
Anti.
What is before?
Okay,
in
player one.
antebellum.
Right. Select again.
Now, medium prefix for 2000.
Circum.
Yes,
player
circle.
one.
Around. Around.
That is correct.
Now you have $23,200.
We return to you, player one.
India for 400.
The international airport in New Delhi bears her name.
Who's Indira Gandhi?
Player one. Good.
Now India for 800.
Player one. Pick again. Jamshedji Natta, an important businessman of this movie capital, used his wealth to enrich it.
What is Bollywood?
Player one.
Where is Bollywood? Where's Bombay?
Hey, you're right. Player one. You pick again, please.
India for 1200.
As the new leader of India, Lal Bahadur Shastri led it into a war with this neighbor in 1965.
Where's
Player
Pakistan?
one. That's correct.
And
You get to pick again, player one.
India for 1600.
The winner of the 1913 Nobel Prize for Literature, Rabindranath Tagore, was born in this former capital in 1861. Okay, player one.
1913. Calcutta. Where's Calcutta?
Good for you. Player one, back to you.
India for 2000.
All right, here with the clue is Kelly.
The gesture here typically accompanies this common Indian greeting, from Sanskrit for to bow.
Let's hear it, player one.
What is Namaste?
All right.
I have 129,200.
Please pick again, player one.
We're going to go football for 400.
This cup representing Canadian football supremacy was donated by the descendant of a tea namesake.
Where's the Grey Cup?
Yes, player one. That's it. Player one, back to you for our next selection.
Football for 800.
He caught the catch on January 10th, 1982.
The catch. Let's go.
wide receiver of the 1990s, entered the Pro Football Hall of Fame in 2007. Let's hear it, player one.
Where's Michael Irvin?
That is correct.
And now,
Select again.
let's see football for 1600.
Let's go over to Kelly.
In this type of trick play, the quarterback hands off to a running back, who hands off to a tight end going in the opposite direction.
It's player one.
Those are reverse.
Yes.
No, it's just a guess.
Choose again, player one.
Football for 2000.
To see this NFL team's home games at FedEx Field, take a shuttle bus from the Landover Metro stop.
FedEx Field. Actually, FedEx Field. What is the Washington Redskins?
Player one. Good.
I paid 5,200. Now one calculator left.
Back to you for our next selection.
Biology, 400. Biology for $400.
In humans, this sex chromosome is present only in males.
Is that an XX or XY?
Okay, player one.
XX. What is Y?
That is correct.
What's Y?
Player one. Pick again.
Biology, 800.
Gustatory receptors are special cells that give you your sense of this.
Gustatory. Taste. What is taste?
Yes, player one. Right.
And now, see, there
We
goes
return to you, player one.
biology for 1,200.
In plants, they're reproductive structures. In humans, light-sensitive structures along with the rods.
What are cones?
Okay, player one. Oh, you're right. Player one, back to you.
Biology, 1,600.
The hypothalamus at the base of the brain controls the release of hormones by this master gland.
What is the pituitary?
Let's hear it, player one.
What is the pituitary?
Good. And the last clue for $2,000.
Biology.
One of the subdivisions of biology is this science, dealing with the naming and classification of organisms.
What is taxonomy?
Player one? That's correct.
Perfect double Jeopardy round. Compare 1,200.
Sorry. Only player one will be joining me for Final Jeopardy. Final Jeopardy is still to come, and here's the category. Notable women. So, what's your wager? Each direction on the bus control panel represents a different response.
Let's see.
Press a direction.
Oh, I missed one clue the entire.
Let's take a look at the last clue. In 1963, she said, I feel as though I'm suddenly on stage for a part I never rehearsed.
Feel as though I'm suddenly on stage for a part I never rehearsed. I feel I'm suddenly on stage. I feel. Red Johnson.
What did you put as your response?
Looks like 7,200.
And the correct response will add how much to your score?
2,400.
This makes you our new champion, player one. So congratulations.
Plus 3,
We'll see you next
6,
time.
5, 6, 4. 4, 1, 4. 4, 1, 4. 8, 0. 8, 1, 2, 3, right there. 1, 2, 3. So that gives me a 13 game winning total of $4,148,000. I repeat that, $4,148,000. $4,148,000 is my 13 game winning total. And that's it for game 13 of my run of Jeopardy for the week. Next up will be my 11th game of Horse Millionaire for the week. So see you then. For now, this is Q-Man 999 signing off.